Hi everybody, welcome. Last week I filmed a video about SUMIFS, and after I filmed this video, which was a very short basic tutorial, it got me thinking about COUNTIFS and how they are both very useful functions that can be used and applied on basically the same type of data, but will return different values. So let me run you through them again. I'm going to start with SUMIFS, which is what we did last week. And I have this table of data here, and they're referring to my imaginary company. And this is the orders I've had throughout January based on their color, the city on which the order was placed, the quantity of orders placed, and my total profit for that day. If I want to sum my total profit on red pieces that I sold, I would do red, my criteria, and then I would do SUMIFS. And now I'm summing my total profit, that's my sum range, and my criteria range is the colors because I want to sum the reds, and my criteria is red. If I put it all in pounds, I can see that the sum of all the red orders I've made is £110. And how does Excel work it out? It goes to my criteria range. It looks for all the red ones. They are here. So these are all the values on the range that I've selected that satisfy my criteria, and they then sum my range associated to it. If I sum these values, 20 plus 5 plus 5, 30, 55, 80, 85, 110. This is my total of order profits that have the color red. And this is an example of how I would use my SUMIFS function. Now the COUNTIFS is slightly different. COUNTIFS, if I start typing it down, the first thing you see is that there is no sum range. And that's because for this function, we are not summing any values. We are just counting the occurrences. If I just want to count the reds, I have my range, and then important to include that one, and then my criteria, which again, let's do red, and now I have that my count of reds is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So notice how they're different. If I do a COUNTIFS, it returns me the number of occurrences, so the number of reds, whereas if I do a SUMIFS, I can sum my sum range based on this criteria. Now, these formulas are useful as well because you can filter them down. So for example, here I'm just summing all the reds, but if, for example, I just want to sum the reds in London, I can add my criteria London as well, and I add a new criteria range, which is the city, and a new criteria, which is London. And there you have it. Now I only have £70. Why is that? Because it's not just looking at the red, it's also looking at the reds in London. This one is a red in London. This one isn't. No, no, yes, and yes. Notice how it doesn't include values such as red in Bristol or green in London. And that's because we are looking for red and London at the same time, which is 70. Why? 20 plus 25 plus 25 gives me that 70. Now, COUNTIFS, if I go and narrow it down to reds in London, I should only have 3. Why is that? Because it's counting the number of red occurrences in London. Let's confirm that. I now add my cities and my criteria being London, extra comma that I don't need, 3. So we're counting the number of red occurrences in London at the same time. And that's the difference between a COUNTIF and a SUMIF. I hope you find this useful and I hope you get to practice because these functions can be very helpful. They can be very useful if you know how to use them correctly. So there you have it. Thank you so much as always for listening and I'll see you soon. Bye!